You can see that Phoenix has made a lot of progress. They're 2-2. They could easily be 4-0. They've played good teams. They've played everybody tough, and they are really, really good defensively. So that bodes well for their future, and it means it's going to be a tough test for us tonight.
Coach, I know you don't love Willie Green or anything like that,
No.
but in the time that you did spend with him, if you could find some positive things to say about him as a person and a coach, what would those be? And then secondly, how do you think he'll help Devin Booker continue to improve his game?
Well, Willie was a huge factor for us here on the staff with the players. I loved everything about him, his professionalism, his humility, his connection with the players, the fact that he played in the league and played against a lot of our players only a few short years ago gave him a credibility that we needed on our staff in terms of just adding some youth and more modern NBA information. Guys automatically respect somebody they've played against, and that's how our players felt about Willie. And what I really will remember most is his wife Tara and their kids coming in, Mason, especially coming into the locker room after games. I know Mason has quickly changed his allegiances to Phoenix, which I appreciate. I respect that. But Mason lived and died with the Warriors in the last few years, so we had a lot of fun together.
Steve, beyond Willie, what about Alec Burks, and what does he bring? I mean, he hasn't been seen much, obviously, during training camp and here. What kind of impact can he have? What kind of role can he fill on this team, do you think?
We'll see. You know, he was injured almost immediately in the first few days of camp, and Willie hasn't really practiced at all in terms of scrimmaging because by the time he was cleared to practice, we had already started the regular season. So he's been through a couple of very light workouts, but both Willie and Alec, it's going to be it's going to take some time to sort of figure out how and where they fit, and so we'll just put him out there. We'll see how it goes.
What about Alec's game attracted you to him?
Well, we liked Alec's offensive aggressiveness. He's a guy who's traditionally played off the bench, and he's had big games in the playoffs. He's not shy to get out there and attack the rim. He's been a really good offensive player. And he's got good size. We don't have a ton of wings, as you know, and so he should be a good addition.
Steve, what did you think of what Jacob was doing before he got injured, and how big of a blow is that to your wing rotation?
It's a big blow. Jacob has been really good throughout camp and the first week of the season. One of our better defenders on the floor, and is guarding the ball especially. So we'll miss that aspect, and most importantly, just a young player who was finally getting some time, finally getting some minutes to show what he can do. So I feel bad for Jacob, but he'll be back. He's just got to get healthy, and we got to be patient.
Is it going to be kind of tough, you think, going forward to have any sort of timetable for Kevon given the nature of his injury? And is it kind of nice that the timing of it, that Willie's coming back now, went just after Kavan has missed a couple games.
Yeah, we desperately need both of them, but given that Loon may be out for a little bit, we don't know yet, but it's good to get Willie back, so at least we get one of them back, and it's a big deal for us. We obviously haven't had much size working with us during the early going, so Willie will help.
Feels strange doing the injury math, two guys out, two guys back,
Yeah.
but what is the impact of having Willie and Alec, just two more bodies, for it to play the team that you guys can have back tonight?
Well, again, we have to see where they fit, and it's tough because, they've never, forget never having played in a game for us, they really haven't even scrimmaged. I think Alec did maybe the first day or two of camp, and that was it. So we barely know these players, and they don't know, their teammates very well. So these things take time. So we've got to put them out there, let them learn on the fly, and we'll learn about them as well. We'll get some games on film so that we can really examine it and see what the best combinations are going forward.
Steve, besides the W in the win column, how big was the victory when you're 0-2? And where guys, I don't know, fans think, oh my God, we're gonna ever win one. Do you ever think that way? You know you're gonna win a game, but psychologically, was that a huge win down there?
Well, yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, when you especially the way in which we lost the first two games. We got blown out. We were never in either game. So we needed to win just to feel good about ourselves and to gain a little momentum. So it's a good effort. I love the energy, most of all, the intensity and the collective will. First two games, I just thought we looked hesitant and even a little confused and trying to find some traction. And we found that in game three, but we got a ways to go.
You had Steph and Draymond back over here. Even with Steph's foul trouble, looked like you were going to play them together for most of the last game. Is that the way you think you're going to go? Did you like how it worked in the last game with Steph and Draymond just playing most of the stints together?
Yeah, I mean, I like that, but Steph got in foul trouble in the first quarter, so he came out, I think, around the 3-minute mark, and we ended up leaving D'Angelo out there for the whole quarter. The plan was to flip that, going in, and D'Lo would have been the first guy out, but it worked out really well. I thought we just played a really good offensive game regardless of who was out there. D'Angelo took over the reins when Steph was on the bench and did a great job. So, yeah, I mean, we know Steph and Draymond are a great combination, and it's the one thing we know we can count on so far. So it does make sense to have them out there together as much as possible, but that leaves other difficulties that are exposed, because the other way to look at it is, really it's your two mainstays, your two veterans. Maybe you always need to have one of them on the floor, and so we have to figure that out.
How was Kavan the challenge rule so far through 4 games? And only had one challenge. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the challenge, but it's just it's there. So we used it the other night on Steph's 4th foul, which turned out well for us, allowed us to keep him in the game. But I don't think we need any more reasons to stop the game and look at a monitor. We have enough of those already.
Far left corner.
How was Kavan kind of handling this unknown process? And I just saw him out there shooting jumpers. What exactly is he kind of allowed and not allowed to do right now?
Well, he's frustrated, and we're frustrated for him. He's scheduled to see some specialists coming up soon, I think early next week. We're just hoping for the best. He's able to kind of do controlled workouts with the training staff. So he's getting conditioning, he's getting shooting, just no live action.
Steve, what does it mean to you to have Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe here to speak with Rick Welts post game, just on inclusion and so many topics that that mean a lot to you, and this team and this organization?
Well, I've been a big fan of both of theirs for a long time. In fact, I reached out to Megan this past summer to try to get her to come speak to the World Cup team before we went over to China. We just weren't able to make it happen. But she's such an incredible athlete and advocate, and you know, Sue has been one of the best women's players in the game for a long time. So I know Rick is close with both of them, so it's important. I think, especially on a night like tonight, we're celebrating the idea of being accepting of everyone. It's great to have them here to address. I guess they addressed. Did they address some of our organization?
Yeah, some today. They're at the post-game thing
and
tonight.
then post-game as well. Yeah. So it's wonderful to see them here. I'm hoping to be able to connect with them after the game. I haven't been able to see them yet.
Over here, I feel kind of silly now to ask a basketball question after that. But we all saw the difference in energy in Game 3. But was something done or said? What happened between Games 2 and 3 that clicked and allowed people to come out with such force in that game?
I think it was just a reaction to, you know, to being embarrassed 2 games, but also being a little more comfortable. You know, I said it after the OKC game. I actually saw improvement, believe it or not, and the tape confirmed it on some of the individual things that we were working on, some of the schemes and coverages. And so with a young team, you're looking for that kind of improvement that may not show up right away, but I thought it showed up the next game. But there was no doubt too that the players brought a level of energy and intensity that hadn't been there for the first 2 weeks.
Second row.
Coach, you mentioned Willie's youth and credibility with teams and his players. Devin Booker specifically, do you see a way that Willie can really have a hardcore impact on his growth in the next few years?
Well, I'm sure, you know, and I'm sure that's part of the plan. That's something that Willie did here. You know, had a great impact on younger players, and you know, still able to get out on the floor and train with them and work with them and really, you know, talk to them about what's going on in the game, because he was playing, you know, 3-4 years ago. So I'm sure that's going to be part of Willie's role, and that's one of the reasons I hired him here. Just we needed that dynamic on our staff.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.